Russia is now experiencing a major command crisis that has spilled into public view, exposing deep fractures within its military leadership. According to Ukraine expert Jason J. Smart, the country's most influential general, Valery Gerasimov, is caught in a system that both depends on him and no longer trusts him. Gerasimov's unexplained disappearances from high-level meetings and operational reports have fueled speculation, and when he does reappear, it is only in brief, tightly edited videos that provide no clarity about their timing or location. Smart argues that this ambiguity is deliberate, reflecting a command structure that is rapidly unraveling from the inside. The situation has been worsened by the arrest of several senior officers closely tied to Gerasimov. These individuals were responsible for essential wartime functions, including secure communications, defensive fortifications, and logistics. Instead of strengthening the army's capabilities, large sums of money were diverted into personal estates, luxury purchases, and private business networks. The scandal has shaken the Russian military establishment because it confirms long-held suspicions that corruption at the highest levels has hollowed out the war effort. Funds intended for protecting soldiers and stabilizing frontline operations were instead absorbed by internal rivalries and self-enrichment. Worsening battlefield conditions have further deepened the crisis. Russian units are increasingly impacted by friendly fire incidents, unreliable supply routes, and declining morale. Intelligence intercepts show officers pleading for basic equipment that never reaches them. Yet, despite the chaos, Putin cannot dismiss Gerasimov. Doing so would amount to acknowledging a fundamental failure of Russia's entire military strategy. Instead, Gerasimov remains in place, serving as a buffer to deflect public criticism away from the Kremlin while continuing to oversee a faltering campaign. Meanwhile, Russia's military performance on the ground remains far weaker than Kremlin propaganda suggests. Across multiple fronts in Ukraine, Russian forces have struggled to make meaningful progress, capturing only small stretches of land despite heavy losses. In some areas, the average daily advance has been as little as 50 meters slower than the infamous Somme offensive of World War I, where Allied troops advanced approximately 80 meters per day. The Russian army has also suffered major losses in equipment across land, air, and naval operations, revealing the enormous material cost of its grinding attrition strategy. Fatalities and casualties have reached staggering levels, reflecting deep structural flaws in Russia's approach to the war. Analysts point out several reasons for these consistent failures: an over-reliance on poorly coordinated infantry assaults, ineffective use of artillery and operational fires, and Ukraine's well-organized system of layered defenses, which have repeatedly blunted Russian attacks. Despite narratives claiming Russia now holds the initiative, the reality on the battlefield continues to indicate that its forces are overstretched, undersupplied, and struggling to sustain offensive pressure.